welcome to the Standpoint. Welcome to the Standpoint. This year, our theme, yes, as you know already, the responsible woman. How responsible are you as a woman? What is your confidence level? Listen, nobody was born confident. Absolutely nobody. You learn to be confident. It's something that you have to decide. You work on to become confident in your own skin. God created me black, created somebody fair, brown, fancy, ga. It's not by accident, all God's design. So why is it that the media, especially, when I say media, I'm talking about all forms of media, radio, TV, during the adverts, whatever, music, acting, they portray women in a certain way that is quite demeaning. And interestingly, the more we talk about it, the worse it becomes. It's like, what is happening? What can we do? Is this something that women are doing themselves that's giving the media the power to demean them in the eyes of the public? My guests today have something to say about this. My name is Gifty Auntie. Welcome to the Standpoint. Let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This dress was made by Siba. Thank you to Power Cosmetics. They provide us with a makeup product, and Makeup and More applies the makeup for us. My accessories, my beads, and every earring, everything is by Matilda Hood Couture MHC. They are at the trade fair. They can hook you up. And today my hair is by Chocolat Hair. We'll be back.
Odo, why your best my power?
Tina tomac mixture. Oh, be only osani you fiery bean yasem. Sana tina tet malakeno so. Etu malaria, tipaye, stress, and unam yao biase.
Free 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tina tet in Euro.
Aye, Busian Chamfa. Live. Hi. One can. Maybe buy two for dinner.
LEAP.
Lip tomato paste.
Oh.
What else?
Honey, when you say lip tomato paste, you are there. It's so be so.
Don't want to say
Madam, the food tastes very good. What's the secret?
LEAP.
lip.
Lip tomato paste. Emma Edouani de Papa.
For bulk purchase, contact 050-140-1088.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Standpoint. If you just joined us today, we are going to look at how the media portrays women. Remember, this program is also aired on ABN TV, which is across Western Europe, parts of Canada, Asia, and North Africa on Sky Channel 235. If you are based in UK, Freeview 525, you can get it. If you are on Freeview, you don't have the Sky Channel, you can get it on 525. Thank you to Tinatet Herbal. They produce a Tinatet Venicare, Tinatet Tomacare, and Tinatet Malacare. NS Chemist, producers of quality and affordable medicines. They sponsor us as well. In African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, they've been supporting African women's rights organizations across Africa for many years now. Now, today, for our discussion, seated right opposite me is Jennifer K. Ikwamwa. She is a student, University of Ghana, Legon, Department of Communication Studies. Welcome to the Standpoint.
Thank you very much.
Next to her, I have Afi Agbenyo, social activist. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're looking lovely.
Nice. Thank you.
And next to her is my handbag. My sister from another mother, of course, Lydia Forson. Lydia Forson is an actress. She is a writer. She is an activist. She is a blogger. She's an Aluta leader. What else? Lydia Forson. Welcome back to the Standpoint.
Thank you. This is home, so.
Afi, what's going on?
Well, I am actually trying.
I think with the social media, it's worse.
It's getting worse, but it's just reflecting really what we've been doing to ourselves as human beings over the years, because you do this to a woman and you think it's a woman, but really it also exposes you, the person who is doing that. And that's what's happening. Unfortunately, it's making the issue look a bit like out there, but I think I like it also because it's telling ourselves what we really are and what we have been doing to women. And it's appalling. I'm actually, since I got the invitation, I've been taming myself. I want to use the right language.
Don't worry, this is the Standpoint. We are known for saying it as it is, you know.
It gets to that point where for some of them, you just can't even find the moderate words to and I want to be very open about it. The very recent one, not even the most recent, but the one that got my neck rolling recently was ad. I want to first and foremost say thank you for this very one, because frankly, all these media houses are partners for you.
Yeah.
But to stand your ground to say that the right thing has to be said, whether they are partners or not.
It has to be. You see, I think that is why we are struggling as a Standpoint. Yeah. Because we have decided that this is an agenda.
Yes.
That we need to pursue. So, I mean, that is why we will not accept any advert or product that, or, you know, sponsorship that, you know, demeans women.
And I just want to say something, first and foremost, as I go on. So this one morning, was it even a morning, I got onto social media, for instance, and I saw this ad that says that, I mean, if you're big, your husband will leave you, and if you're small, you're a husband snatcher. And I'm like, what nonsense of an ad is this? And I couldn't really understand how a marketing manager or whoever has been employed, for instance, will do this.
Yeah.
Over the past, there's been ads that says that if you're a woman, your husband can get a car. When he gets the car, you get a kitchen, insurance.
Thank you.
Something like that.
Thank you, that one.
Like, so when I buy my car, what will you give me then? You give my husband a shoe, insurance, or what? I mean, how do you sell human beings as though they're second rated? So it goes on, and now social media, sex tapes are there. There's, of course, ads that are going on. There's how somebody can interestingly insult another person, especially when it's young men are insulting women they know nothing about, they don't know from anywhere, but because it's a woman, they are confident enough to insult the person on social media. And you don't have, of course, anybody, you know, managing social media, but the sad thing about it is that other elderly men and women are on social media watching and are quiet.
And won't say anything about it.
And when you say something about it,
they will tell you that
then
that's not how to talk.
You have to find fine words to describe that one. But when the young person does it wrong, there's no need to, you know, look for words. But when you go say that you don't say this to a woman, you don't do it this way, then you need to find right words in describing it.
On that note, Lydia, you know what kills me about it? Where they'll tell, oh, you are a lady, you don't talk like that.
You know, I listening to her, it's the reality is a lot of us, and I include myself in this, never take a moment to actually think about the words that we say. I was sitting in the car with a friend, and then a woman was driving. So, he's a woman, and this is someone who strongly believes in women's rights. But I said, you can't be fighting for women and then make a statement like that. It's because the society we are from is become a norm. Do you get me? So a lot of people, as much as I mean, in my heart, I want to bash these people. The reality is a lot of people just don't know any better. So these children are picking this from their homes. They've watched how their father has spoken to their mom, their uncle has treated the house girl, and so they have no sense of what is even right or wrong. So these young boys who come even at me on Twitter are 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and they think that it's okay. And you said something very, very, profound here. People sit back and watch. We don't get involved because it's not my issue. Like when you said the sex tape, as much as I defend, it when it comes out, I tell them the same thing, that your tape is out, but at some point it was another person's tape, and you didn't think that yours would ever come out. So you didn't say anything about it. So I said, okay, you bash me for defending someone, but pray that one day when your case comes, you have someone like us sitting here to speak, for you. People don't take a moment and think and say, what I'm saying to this individual, how will I feel if someone said it to me? We have made bad behavior a norm.
Jennifer, is that it? We've made bad behavior a norm. So people decide to portray women in videos, in movies, just anyway, and it's good to go.
I strongly agree with what Lydia and what Afi has also been saying about it's become sort of like a culture. It's become something that now we are used to it. I mean, even traditionally, in our cultural setting, look at the way our fathers used to treat our mothers, our grandfathers used to treat our grandmothers, even in those times. And now it's been carried forward, propagated more by Christianity, the preaching that we hear in churches. So there's a lot of what now people see as, okay, women are supposed to be submissive. They're put on a certain pedestal. They're either submissive, quiet, demure. I mean, if you veer out of that and you start to speak your mind, you're one of those too known, I know my rights people. And it's wrong. I mean, it's just two completely extreme positions to put a woman in. And it just creates all kinds of problems. I mean, even Lydia as an actress, now whenever she just comes out with her opinion, it becomes fodder for, on social media for days or weeks or whatever. And then you think about it and you're like, if Lydia was a man, would it garner this kind of attention? Would people say the kind of things they're saying about Lydia if it was a guy saying it? I mean, obviously, no, it'll die out in a day or two. At most 3 or 4 days. So it really is. It's a societal problem, and technology and modernity is also making it worse.
Yeah, it's a societal problem, but this is an issue that we've been talking about, we've been fighting about for years now. We've talked about it over and over again, and as I said, it seems to be getting worse.
I said this, and I think that I want us to, it's not a false hope, but I think that we've gotten better. Social media gave the platform for us to see what's happening in Tamale in a space of time, so we are getting to see it. What's happening in Ho, we are getting to see it quickly. It's exposing what's happening, and unfortunately for us, traditional media, which is supposed to set the agenda, and this is where I come in. Media, especially traditional media normally tells us that they are setting the agenda. But when they do wrong, they say they are reflecting what society is. And it amazes me how the double standard, yes.
The hypocrisy in society is something, as much as we've said it over and over, like you said, they will say a woman should be, quiet, look a set. But then, mind you, the feistier you are, they might complain about you in public, but then we are the ones that the married people would want to, have a taste of and see what this is
all about. How I can tame her in bed.
Because let me marry the one who is quiet, who I can control. But then I'm attracted to the one, to the feisty one. But then I cannot openly, say it. So there's a deep-seated hypocrisy in our society, and we never want to own up to where we have gone wrong. Because you said we've been fighting for a long time, but now you see, when I wrote a piece about women against women, I don't know if you read that, and I said when we started this fight, it was against men who have oppressed women. We're fighting for women's rights. But when you're fighting for something, and then you, the person who, you're fighting for, turns and becomes your enemy. Whether it's a societal problem or you don't know any better, at some point you're going to sit down and say, okay, why are we not winning this fight? because we are being stopped by our own kind. And these women who are against, they don't do it knowingly. Because when I have an issue and it's on social media, the loudest voices, the people who put me down the most, really are the women. It's a woman who will say, okay, who will chastise you for not being married, who will talk about how many times has a man seen you and go like, hey, why aren't you married? It's a woman who's going to ask you, why do you have only one kid? The men don't care anymore. When they see you in a skimpy dress, they might insult you, but they will actually really like it. It's a woman who go to bed thinking, I can't believe they're forcing God that. Do you understand? So we have to now take the fight to us and say, hey, sister, we are losing because you still don't get it.
Well, this is the standpoint, and let me say thank you to Got Yogurt, Awake Purified Water by Casapreco Company Limited. For every bottle of Awake, Lydia, you are one. Awake Purified Water you buy, they contribute to 1 Ghana peso to the National Cardiothoracic Fund to support the less privileged. Thank you to Cake Techniques, to Yep Cleaning Services. They take care of our environment. Thank you to Mac Catering Services and Matamis gives us the port. When we come back, we'll be back.
Middo, that's the day what?
Odo, oyo best my power. Cause one num tinted venicare what? When him say tinted venicare, and no quania bibidra. Clinically, no, ya testing with Department of Pharmacology and Microbiology at University of Ghana on Medical School.
Sir?
Omudu stamp with say by Minia, num tinted venicare what?
Hey, Tinatet Ambassador.
Abuaye Papa. 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tinatet in Europe.
Welcome back to the Standpoint. Well, I have with me in the studio student from Green Hills School of Health Sciences. And Accra Poly. Jennifer. So are we saying that we don't have to blame the media? We have to blame ourselves as women?
I think it's one of those really dysfunctional sorts of marriage situations, because media does reflect what happens in society, and society also does feed the media as well. So if in our society we have a culture of, okay, women are second, the woman's voice is the muted voice or is not the accepted voice, the strong woman is the witch or the other or the deviant, or she's stubborn, or all those weird funny labels they give to outspoken women, which makes women feel that, okay, if I have an opinion, it's a wrong thing to do, so they feel afraid to speak out.
Right.
And when you feel afraid to speak out, you see your fellow woman speaking out, and you see everything that's happening to her.
Right.
And because you're still living with that sort of fear, in your own way, you start to rebel against it and say, you know what, it's a wrong thing. So let me also, join in putting her down so we can all be down at the same level together. So it's an insidious cycle. That's from the culture side. And now media says, okay, especially in adverts and songs and TV shows and things like that, says, okay, this is the society that we are coming from now. So let's give them what they are used to, what they recognize. So we have a typical domestic setting. Father is the breadwinner, mother is the housewife, the kids are under her control, her so-called control, because when daddy comes home, he can talk to mommy anyhow. Mm-hmm. So how are the children also supposed to respect her? The daughters grow up knowing that, or being imbibed with that feeling that, okay, she is second. To be a good wife, you have to endure. You have to be beaten or emotionally abused. And then the boys also grow up thinking, to be a good husband or a good man, I have to be physically strong. I have to put down the woman's voice. I'm always right. Then that's your TV show. You're showing that, to the ordinary family. The family just continues and, gives it back. So really, if we want to like make a change or make things better, it has to start with us. It's a cultural thing.
Media should set the agenda.
Yeah.
And this is where I would like to differ a bit from Jennifer, because you see, when the media goes out and touts itself as setting an agenda, it should be all around. Take responsibility, for goodness sake.
Educate, inform, entertain.
Entertain. You see,
I missed the other part.
Yeah.
because it's so hypocritical as a media house to, from the sake of money, take an ad and play it. That makes women, the other person.
I had time. I went to the GJA. Yes, I went to
okay,
to go and read on their code of,
Ethics.
ethics. And people have broken like 99% of the codes.
Yes.
If you feel like what I'm wearing is wrong, shut me down. Don't put my picture up.
Don't promote
Don't
it.
promote it.
Don't discuss it.
But then on one hand, you will say, okay, look at this girl. She's such a... She does this. But you're the same person making people who dress a certain way popular.
Popular, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
a young girl coming up thinks that, listen,
To be popular.
to be
let's do
popular, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
So then make up your mind what
Yeah.
you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because when she walks in, you say, oh, Lydia is too fat. But then you would want the girl who is small enough to wear certain clothes. So wait, really?
What
You
are we
need to
talking
make,
about?
because a lot of people also are doing things because they think that is what everybody wants. So
I think
we
that
are conflicted
for those
in ourselves.
Who are, for instance, in the music videos, I also have the other side of it for them.
Because I hear people pay. Women pay
to be in
to
the
be
videos.
featured in the near naked music videos.
They have money.
Yeah.
I actually
They
was
want
going to say
popularity.
to
Yeah.
do that.
Yes.
I was
They
actually
fight
going
over
to
it.
say it's a matter of
Because
unemployment.
the assumption is when you're famous, again,
Then the
it's a
money will
deep,
come.
it's not just even money, it's a deep, like this is, what we are doing is we are picking at the branches.
when there's
But
a
the
root
the
of it.
root is, if I'm famous, I'm going to get a man. Because where's the money coming from? If I'm famous, I'm going to get a man, I'm going to get a rich man, my level is going to... It got to a point where I was a little bit embarrassed to say I was an actress. No disrespect to my colleagues in the industry, but a lot of upcoming... I would go to Nigeria and I'll see someone, so she's a Ghanaian actress. I don't know her. And then I go, and then I see some of the stuff she's doing, and I understand that she's not really an actress. She's just using the fame, but then she feels like that's the only way
She can.
she can make it.
So you think there's a desperation for fame?
I actually think so. And then I also thought, frankly, that there was also the issue of they don't know better, those in the ad. But I think they know, and they know what they want. And for that, I cannot judge. Because I always say this, that people who know what they're doing, appreciate what they're doing, I have no problem with them. I don't have an issue
They're
with
only
them.
who they are.
Yes, so if you take responsibility for your actions, I don't have a problem. But for the music video that thinks that it will sell because it has to show a naked woman, then I have a problem. Because for some of them, it goes a long way to demean the women. Because all they do is really nothing in the video but show their body. Imagine that my son sees an ad that says that if you're big, your husband can leave you.
Right.
I mean, and if his dad, God forbid, cheats on me, he will be justified.
Yeah.
Because the message that's been taught
Yeah.
is that you don't have to be big, Mom. Why did you allow yourself to be big? That's why Dad left you.
Isn't
that crazy?
Because that's what you're feeding the young man. Oh,
Yeah.
really? I know big, but I mean, I want to look smaller. And for me, frankly, it's because I don't have money to change my wardrobe. Because I can add up and add up. I want to be in the ones I have. Very economic. So that's for me. But if you continue with such ads, you have a beautiful, and you see, sometimes when we talk, it's as if it's a women's thing. But this is when my husband also has an issue. You shouldn't portray him as somebody who reads graphic whilst I play with the children, as if he doesn't love his children enough. So there's this ad where it's a beautiful home. Dad is crossed his leg, he's reading graphic. And then
a newspaper.
Yeah, newspaper. In actual fact, graphic should forgive me.
A boy and a girl.
Graphic should forgive me. He's actually reading a newspaper, and then I am playing with it. So the picture is mom loves, dad cares about his papers. You don't do that to men also, and that is where sometimes I think men should stop pushing when such bad stereotypes are being, propagated against them. Tell the world you love your children. You also play with them. Tell them you cook for your children. Tell the world that you're proud as a father, as a big brother, to take care of your children. Don't let the media tell the world that fathers don't love their children. And I am waiting for those men I saw a beautiful thing on Facebook, the Ephesians 5 man, and I think it's a fantastic movement.
Okay.
I think I should look out 5 man. The man that God has said should love his wife. Yeah. There is that man who has been told to teach his family. Where is he? How do you teach when you've cried? Yes.
You see, while you're watching The Standpoint, thank you to our sponsors, African Women's Development Fund, Tinatet Herbal, Ernest Chemist, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services, and of course our supporters, Matames, they give us the port, Gogot Yogurt, Awake Purified Water, and Yep Cleaning Services. We'll be back.
One can. Neighbor to for dinner.
LEAP.
Lip tomato paste. What else?
Honey, when you say little tomato paste, be an idea. And so be also.
Don't want to say
Madam, the food tastes very good. What's the secret?
LEAP.
Lip.
Leaf tomato paste. Emma Edwani de Papa.
For bulk purchase, contact 050-140-1088.
Welcome back to The Standpoint. Thank you to GTP for my cloth. This dress is by Chic, by Siba. Accessories, my beads, and this is coconut, the one you were drinking, you were asking for more water. By Matilda Hood Couture, MHC, they are at the trade fair. Thank you to Chocolat Hair for my hair. This is kinky hair. And thank you to Power Cosmetics for their makeup product, and Makeup and More applies their makeup for us. Thank you to all our supporters. We are indeed grateful. We know we can be difficult sometimes, but hey, this is an agenda, pushing platform. So we really need to be careful about it. But Jennifer, how do we get the media to change the stereotyping?
That is a very interesting one. Because, the media is, media likes to think, it's working on, these humanitarian grounds and trying to better and make an impact. A lot of it is really driven by money. It's a business. They're in it to win it. Let's put it like that. So really, if we're looking at it on a purely business model, they feel that it doesn't really benefit them to show the accurate picture.
But you see, that's where I get horrified. Because the media is supposed to set the agenda. But the media today, especially in Ghana, follows the agenda.
Yeah. That is actually the real problem. Instead of saying that, look, this is the problem, and you see a lot of it too, is our mindset.
Yeah.
We are still thinking in that, the opinionated woman is too known, she doesn't respect. I mean, I had a friend who told me that, he knows that women, when they get married and they're feminists, they happily carry their husband's name in public, but when they come home, they don't respect. I looked at his face, I was like, are you kidding me? 21st century
there was
gentleman.
a piece on me when I got married.
There were a lot of pieces, so you have to give us the proper reference.
Gifty Auntie, an interesting perspective of a feminist marriage.
Wow. So you couldn't just be married, you had to be a feminist.
No.
But you know what? The media all over the world, but Ghana in particular, has been left unchecked. I think that for every group that has been oppressed to a degree, and you can say the media, you know, you needed a press freedom and all of that. When I always say when the oppressed has power, they become worse than their oppressors. Now, what has happened with the media, and I'll use Ghana as a case study, that back then some of the things people say and get away with, they couldn't. And then they were given freedom. So when it's like a kid. If you leave a kid in the room and you come back, they've put toilet roll all over the place. They've powder everywhere because you've given them freedom. But then immediately you go and talk about this, they say you're trying to censor the press. Nobody censors anybody. If you have the right kind of money, you can get away with it.
You see, my bigger problem, I'm back to you, Jennifer. Well, one of the biggest problems is the fact that a woman and a man will do the same thing, but is a woman who'll be bashed, who'll be portrayed in, you know, all sort of. We see these celebrities go for functions and all that. The men, some of them, what they were. I mean, but a lady goes and then that is it. And a woman and a man are in a sex tape.
And then it's the
woman.
Recently, they said there was a policewoman or something. So I'm just asking, where is the man she sent it to? Who is the woman in the tape? But the so-called tech one. Up to today, where's the guy?
You know, for
who did it?
The tech one was, I think, for me, the worst one that I'd heard about or seen, because I did not understand the logic of the students going to blow it up on a big screen.
They deny it now. They deny that it didn't happen. They say it didn't happen.
No, but then why should you do? Even if they are denying it, even if it didn't, we are not far off.
Yeah.
It is going to happen. And then I put this to everybody. If at any point you have someone's tape, someone's naked picture, and you can, even if she put it out there deliberately, you are guilty. You might think that, I'm not part of it, but you are further humiliating the person because guess what? And you know, I watch Big Brother religiously, and they created this law where first, you know, when you hit somebody, you will be sent out of the house. Now they will arrest the person who provoked and the person who hit. If we're punishing people the way they should, because how do you have someone's tape on your phone? Do you know that you are furthering the person who released this agenda? So you think that, but it's already out there. No. If when it came to you, maybe you were the first person, if you had stopped it there. If you don't, change starts with us. But we sometimes sit back and say, let Gifty do it. Let Gifty go and talk about women. We'll be fine. How when Gifty goes, what happens?
How fine can you be really if Gifty or you or Afi or myself we're the only ones
we are
talking?
all responsible, and I'm very passionate about this sex tape thing because we keep pushing it, and then you say, girl, and someone sends it to me, say, have you seen what I say? You are not sorry.
You are not sorry.
If you were sympathetic, why would you even press send?
I mean, and not just the video tape, but the write-ups and photographs of women that, and then we women also send it around, and we laugh and make stupid questions about it, comments about it.
Society has a very interesting way of sending a lot of men to hell. And I think
I like that.
The men, I mean, I always say this, if you're looking at it from the other side and having fun on earth, be careful. Because you see, our society does that to a lot of women. Be it, I mean, of course it is wrong, because as Jesus said, if you're not sinful, you just grab the stone and throw it. But in its other way, women get to, unfortunately, in our fear, we get to do some things right. And men don't have that opportunity. So have fun that you go and, sleep with a woman and your face does not come. So you sleep with a nurse. In actual fact, it's the men who normally do the sex tapes. Be warned. And that's what I think guys should be saying. Because if you allow the media to shadow you in your wrong, be warned. Because that time is coming. The day your rot will be out, you will be sorry. And if you're a media house, your time is coming. If you think that women, ridiculing women, making women second class, if you're an advertising agency, you think that portraying women in certain direction is what will make money, give you money. Wait, because there's an army of women, coming, and that time will come when they take charge,
Right.
and you will be out of business.
Exactly.
Because I am not in any way going to employ a chauvinist
No.
who would give my company. There's a reason why Access Bank is developing products for women.
Yeah.
There's a reason why most of, I have to mention Access because they're supporting. There's a reason why a lot of people are putting, banks are
like
putting
African
business,
Women's
you know,
Development Fund
there's a reason.
employs only women. I mean, the men do the other jobs.
Don't
But
kid yourself. There is a power that is rising.
Yeah, the other jobs.
And they are taking leadership. And once that is happening, once Access Bank will not employ you if you are, will not bring their job to a media house that will portray women in a bad light. It's a matter of time. In actual fact, we can't even allow Matilda to do. I mean, she won't do it. It's a matter of time. I am going to lead the corporation, and that time when it comes, if you're a media house and you do this nonsense, I'm not employing you. So if you think this is what is giving you money, then you're making short-term money. Hold on.
You're making short-term money. That's a good point. I expected an applause. Right. Jennifer,
In conclusion, it's a problem. But it's not a problem beyond us. I don't think so. I think now with more education, with more enlightenment, people, men and women, especially women, because now we're seeing that it is a problem. You can't solve a problem if you don't know that there's a problem to begin with. So now we're starting to realize that, yes, we are not being given a fair deal. We're getting the stick end of the carrot and the stick, and it's not cool anymore. We have to change things. And you know, change is gradual. It's been slow. There's been a lot of developments over the years. I mean, I've spoken to you, I've spoken to a couple of other feminists, and you've all agreed that yes, there has been progress in the right direction. But there's more that can be done. There is so much more that can be done. And I think it's because now we are so educated and enlightened on it that we see that, yes, we can actually get there. And it's so frustrating that we see that we can get there and these little things keep holding us back. The media is holding us back. Our own issues are holding us back. Male chauvinistic tendencies are holding us back. Things which shouldn't are the problem. But yeah, there's hope.
There's hope. Lydia.
I would just say that it boils the media houses, every person we've talked that they are human beings who come from simple homes. They are all, I think sometimes when you start talking about government, you make it seem like it's some big thing somewhere. But then we are all part of the media. You are part of it. Now you have to, as a human being, think. How will you feel if it were you? And I don't mean to bash anybody, but at some point you need to look at yourself in the mirror and accept that you have been part of the problem. And it's not too late to change. At some point you've gone on the internet and you've made a derogatory comment about someone because you thought that she would not see. At some point someone has sent you a picture of somebody and you thought it was okay and they wouldn't see. At some point you're going to have children and you're going to raise them with the same, bad, mentality that you had. So it starts from the home, with ourselves, how we raise our children, how we treat people. It's like Christianity say you have to live a Christ-like life so that someone can see you and say, I want to be like you. I didn't wake up one day like this. I've had positive influences in my life, and I realized that I have to be principled enough not to do certain things. And so because of that, there's a reason why on my WhatsApp, no one ever sends me a naked photo of somebody, because I've created the system where if you are that kind of person, you're out of my life. So they say, hey, Lydia, they know. So it starts with you. Own up to the fact that you are part of the problem. Though it's easy for you to sit back at home and blame it all on, but you at some point have had someone's tape. So you go home right now and then you delete it. And you tell yourself that it can happen to you. And it's not just a sex tape either. One day, somehow, you'll be walking somewhere, someone step on your dress, it will rip, some small side boob will show, and that's when someone will capture it. And then you're like, hey, I never thought it would happen to me. So change starts, with us.
Thank you all for coming. This is a discussion that needs to be continued on all our social media platforms, and we have to own it, take it up, and make sure we do something about it. If all of us here are role models, people look up to us, and if people know that Lydia will not do it, Afi will not do it, Jennifer will not do it, Gifty will not do it, they will also sit back and think about it, that if I want to get somewhere, if I want to be like her, then I will also not do it. Well, we take a break. When we come back, I give you a piece of me. I had a call, that's on the 13th of May, early morning, and I was told about a girl, 16-year-old girl in senior high school 1, first year, SHS 1, who was about to be married off. A brilliant girl who didn't want to be married off. Like a mad woman, my husband was traveling that day. So as a good wife, I was supposed to pack for him. But I didn't even apply, cream on my body. Went to bath quickly, just picked up my things. Couldn't find, I just jumped into a taxi and went straight to the school. By the grace of God, that girl was rescued. I followed up to the chief imam's house at Buknapa, went to see him, to have a talk with him that something needs to be done about this, because they were approaching the Ramadan, and around this time, that is what happens. Thank God he gave me the audience and told me that, and I'm sure you all saw that program. If you haven't seen it, go to our website and have a look at it. The topic is Not Now, Parents. He gave me audience and assured me that, listen, you're going to do, because this is not Islamic. It is not in the Holy Quran. So they don't know why people are, and it's basically due to ignorance about it. And at one point I asked myself, why did I have to do this? What was the point? You see, I'm not a Muslim. That girl is not my daughter. I may probably not see her ever again. But I did it because it was the right thing to be done. Because I can't imagine my niece, or if any of my daughters, my many daughters, being married off at that age. So I had to do it. My dear, especially you as a woman, you need to get involved in this fight, not because it's affecting you directly or any member of your family, but because you're a human being. And you know in the deepest part of your heart that it is wrong. As Lydia said, you never know when it will happen to you. It can happen to anybody. I tell people that if a woman is being abused, it's not because she's a Fanti and a Christian, or she's a Northerner and a Muslim. No, it's simply because she's a woman. Simply because she's a woman. We need to rise up and hold each other's hand, support each other. We don't have to like each other, but we need to fight for each other, because we are in this together. Men are not our enemies. Society is our enemy, because society is placing so much pressure on us that if we don't take care, My name is Ohineyere Gifty Auntie. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.